evening, everybody. It's Thursday evening. It's time for another edition of S.T.A.R.S Radio, your short track auto racing source. A production of the Zeus Radio Network for Racers Reunion Radio. We're live from Mid-State Roofing in Lexington, South Carolina tonight. And I have a very special co-host tonight. Austin Leitner is back here with us tonight. Welcome back, Austin, to S.T.A.R.S Radio.
I'm sure we'll hear a little bit from Jeff tonight. I'm glad I could make it back with you, and we look forward to the season with you guys.
Well, it's definitely a pleasure to get back and have you back in here as a co-host with us. Jeff, we're one more week closer to racing. As a matter of fact, buddy, we're down to days. We're going racing Saturday night. It is, and we want to apologize a little bit. I guess we have a little bit of interference noise. We're trying to figure out exactly what that interference noise is, folks. So if you hear a little bit, work with us. You'll take on it.
Yeah, there'll definitely be some torn up sheet metal and plastic noses, but I hope we're not one of them that's getting torn up. You know, it's just all about being smart during the race and keeping it together so you can make your run that lasts 20 and 30 laps. And you know, it's all about being smooth and consistent, and hopefully we won't be the ones with the bent sheet metal at the end.
Well, you know, also we talked about it here in the past when we had you on here. You know, with these 100-lap races, this is a little bit longer race than the Saturday night guys are used to. It's all about being there at
that flag drop. Last time I met with you guys, and you know, many people don't know I've never ran a full 100 laps before in a late model stock. So the most I've ever ran is 50. So you know, saving the tires and saving myself is keep your mind in the game. And I hear a lot of people talking about determination. You know, the first 20 or 30 laps, you give it everything you got, and then you kind of fall off and say, "Man, I'm tired." You know, you gotta just stay up on the wheel. You know, get the full 100 laps, like Jerry was saying. Stay running when that checker flag's falling, and have some determination, and it'll all be good and turn out great.
To watch our very first remote for 2011, and we're going to talk to Ed Cox from the Southeast Limited Late Models. He's going to tell us some of the plans that's going to happen here with his races in 2011. We're going to talk to Wesley Outman, one of the announcers up there at Coastal Plains Speedway. He's also going to be co-announcing this race with me at Coastal Plains. And we're going to talk to Wesley a little bit about some of the preparations that they're doing up there at Coastal Plains to be ready for this Saturday night. And, of course, we're going to have our famous Crew Chief Corner part of the show. Everybody looks forward to that. So we got a great show lined up for everybody tonight. We're going to take a quick break here. Going to grab us another bottle of water. And knowing this crowd, they're liable to be eating something. Jeff, these food down here. Woo! So listen, don't go nowhere. S.T.A.R.S Radio, your short track auto racing source. A production of the Zeus Radio Network for Racers Reunion Radio. We'll be right back after a quick pit stop.
Somebody says car. That's as cool as can be, man. We found out another word today that he could say, and we gave him chocolate for the first time, and he said chocolate, and I'm telling you, man, the chocolate put him into high gear. I've never seen him like he was. I mean, he was wide open for an hour or so after that.
I can imagine, Jeff, but I know you're just as proud as you can be of it.
Oh, heck yeah, man. That's my buddy. He's, I love being able to
have work our way up to the winner. So you want to be the third one that we interview at the end of the night?
All right, yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and take another break, and we're going to come back with a feature that we had all last season that everybody really liked a lot. We're going to come back with Heather with our weather right after this break. So don't go nowhere, folks. S.T.A.R.S Radio, your short track auto racing source. A production of the Zeus Radio Network for Racers Reunion Radio. We'll be right back out of
racetracks we're going to be. I'm not familiar with all of them, and all the new names are all new to me, but if you just check out the website and click on schedule, you'll find them all there.
Well, now, if I wanted to go to that website, where would I go look for that?
AustinLeitner.com. Just type it in the URL or in Google, and there it is. There you go, already pulled up on the schedule for you.
Absolutely, and there is Austin's schedule. It looks like the UAR race is going to be going to Newport, Tennessee. Buddy is someone who has been to Newport, Tennessee and raced. It's going to be the biggest surprise you're going to have in your entire life, because you got to drive, it seems like about 5 miles to a junkyard to get to the racetrack. And that is the honest to God truth, right, Jeff?
And that is the beginning of your experience.
And then you get to see the racetrack.
You've got to understand something when you get there, too. You're in Compton County, Tennessee, okay? This is an unusual place.
I got to tell you, Austin. The very first time I went to Newport Speedway, I drove by it about 5 times because, you know, I kept seeing a sign that said Speedway, and I was like, it's a junkyard. Somebody's been messing with this sign. It can't be right. I drove by it, I'd turn around, I'd come back. You know, we're pulling a 40-foot trailer, you know, so you just don't turn around, you know, on a dime. And I'm like, where is this racetrack? And finally, we've seen another trailer going up the hill. Well, maybe that is where the racetrack is. So we followed them. And then we got up there and we seen Newport Speedway. The only track I ever seen that caution lights with bungee cord and duct tape.
Well, thanks for that advice. We got a 38-footer we're going to be pulling, so we don't want to be doing too many U-turns.
The sign will say Speedway, and you really need to follow that sign. You won't think you ever go into a racetrack.
It's not a joke after all this.
No, it's not a joke, I promise. Jeff, as someone who's logged many, many laps there at Kingsport Speedway, can you give Austin any pre-advice before he gets there?
Yeah.
Max the gas, turn left, and go fast?
It's a tight little dude. You're going to be real busy. It's a great racetrack, a fun racetrack. I imagine that the line around the track is much different now than when I drove, because looking at the photo, I haven't seen the track since Robert Presley put some barriers in turn one. I think he purposely has changed the line there to even out the competition from the people that have run a few thousand laps there to the new ones. So, but the old school way of running that thing is an egg-shaped track with turn 1 and 2 being the narrow end of the egg. A lot of people set their cars up to run through 3 and 4. 3 and 4 is easy to get through. 1 and 2 was always the problem. But it's a fun racetrack, and you will be very, very busy.
Well, you know, short track racing, you know, you're always up on the wheel, staying busy. You know, people say, oh, you're racing. That's, you know, you're turning the steering wheel and pushing the gas pedal, but it's all about endurance, you know, and staying in the race. It's harder than people think, and only short tracks is just like Kingsport. The ones that are hard to get around, it takes a lot of endurance to finish the race.
Yeah, it sure does. And, you know, I've told this several times that I've had the crew chief key me on the radio, and it would take me 2 or 3 laps to be able to answer it. Just because of how busy you are, you know, especially if you're in traffic. But great racetrack, a lot of fun, man, great fans. Kingsport Speedway is a good place to be racing.
That's awesome. We look forward to
Florence Motor Speedway last year for the very first Southeast Limited Late Model race. We're going to come back with Wesley Outman, a professional announcer who's going to help us out at Coastal Plains Speedway. Wesley Outman, our guest when we come back after this pit stop. S.T.A.R.S Radio, your short-track auto racing source. A production of the Zeus Radio Network, for Racers Reunion Radio. Don't go nowhere, folks. We'll be right back.
4 miles off the interstate. Thursday night testing tuners, about 100-foot stars here, about 500 or so fans. We just finally got back with time runs, but just kind of stepping off the mic here for a couple of moments to talk to S.T.A.R.S Radio. And then Jerry Smith, man, looking forward to joining you with the call of the Southeast Limited Late Model Series event going on this weekend at the park in Jacksonville.
I think we're going to have a great time, Wesley. You know, we did the race at Florence Motor Speedway back July 4th weekend last season, the very first Southeast Limited Late Model race, and I'm really looking forward to being able to call another race with you because we had a blast. We had some issues, but we've got a lot of them issues worked out now. Got a few more races underneath our belt, done a lot more of this remote broadcast stuff. Buddy, tell us a little bit about the weekend that we're going to have up there at Coastal Plains this weekend. Not only do we have 2 divisions of Southeast Limited Late Models racing up there, we also have 5 support divisions running up there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Season opener in Jacksonville, 4-10-mile track, a lot of bacon in the corners, double dog leg, unison to what Charlotte, Atlanta, and Texas Motor Speedway looks like the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series guys race on. But, you know, of course, you know, like you were mentioning, the 100-lapper for the pro guys in the Southeast Limited Late Model.
Stand by to go live.
Well, I definitely got a rock star beside me.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to S.T.A.R.S Radio, your short-track auto racing source. A production of the Zeus Radio Network, for Racers Reunion Radio, live from Midstate Roofing in Lexington, South Carolina, in front of a live audience. How you like that, buddy? I'm really going to get into doing more and more of these live remotes here in 2011.
Well, you know, Jerry, that gives you an opportunity to feed off the crowd. That's the way you start anyway, right?
You give them a secret away, buddy. Hey, but we were fortunate enough to be able to come out here and do this live remote tonight, and I want to get the person who made all this happen. I want to welcome Larry Leitner to S.T.A.R.S Radio. We've had his son, Austin, as our co-host all night long. Larry, we really appreciate everything you've done for us, and let us come out here and do our live remote tonight.
Jerry, anything for you. This started actually a couple months back, and we did one. That was great. I actually got to listen in the back. You and Austin have been great when you're on together. Enjoyed listening to it tonight. It's been a fun night. We've got folks out here. Matter of fact, Mr. Tim Leeming over there. He goes back a long way with some of my family, with Will Hobgood. And it's nice to get together with people that you don't see all the time. And to know that, number one, they're still alive.
Thank you. Well, I guess when you get to our age, it is nice to know that some of your friends are still alive. Not that we're old, Mr. Larry.
No, we're going to call and keep checking on you, though.
Okay. Well, you know how to tell if I'm still alive?
How that?
Tune in every Thursday night right here to S.T.A.R.S Radio.
Yeah, and also, we didn't know if we had enough food tonight, and now that we've had Jerry here, I don't think we did.
See what kind of abuse I'm catching when we ain't got Curtis always around. Where's Curtis at?
See, I could have helped you out with that, Mr. Leitner, ahead of time, because he always picks on Curtis Aldridge. That's just to take the attention off himself.
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do, Jeff. You got to make things happen. But, Mr. Larry, we had a good time coming down here tonight and being able to do this live remote. And we would love to do more of these throughout 2011. We're going to be following you and Austin while you guys are running the Southeast Limited Late Models. I'm going to be at some UARA races. I've been known to show up at Florence Motor Speedway on any given Friday night here in 2011, hopefully. And you got to get the deal at Motor Speedway, because there is no better racetrack than what Ron Barfield runs over there.
We have never run at Dillon. I've often ran one race at Coastal Plains. I was talking about that when we were at commercial break. He's ran a few of the racetracks that he'll run this year, but a lot of them are going to be new asphalt for him, new corners, new turns, the whole 9 yards. But if Austin wants to eat as good as he's been eating tonight, he knows he better put it in Victor Lane, or else it's McDonald's to go.
Well, we were talking about earlier about keeping sponsors happy so you can get tired. So what you're saying is to keep his sponsor happy, that's so he don't have to eat McDonald's?
No, Austin knows. Every time we leave a racetrack, I can tell you by what he eats how he finished. If we win, it's sit down at a nice place, and I always have a glass of wine. If we don't win, it's crackers. Crackers are fifth or worse. McDonald's is second and fifth. So yeah, we judge our finishes by our meals.
Well, guys, Austin, I hate to pull a little pressure on you about winning again, but I hope you win, because I'd like to go out and eat supper with you guys on the way home.
Well, I always try to ask him how hungry is he before the race starts.
Well, that's a good way to put it. And, we're going to do live in-car audio for our races. So I got to remember that when I'm talking to Austin, about 15, 20 laps left to go, I need to ask him how hungry he is so I know how good I'm going to eat when we leave the racetrack.
And you will see guys that will lay it on the line, win, lose, or draw. You're going to see racing at this level. And that's really what it was all about. It's been lost over the years at the national levels. And that's what we do have. So I would encourage people. One thing I hope that these track promoters will be able to draw bigger crowds, because this is where real racing's at.
Amen. I couldn't have said it no better there, Larry. We've talked about it many times here on S.T.A.R.S Radio. We've got to return to grassroots racing, and that's what S.T.A.R.S Radio everything is about. You do overseas, without you guys, we wouldn't be living in the land of the free and the home of the brave, because you are the brave ones, folks. S.T.A.R.S Radio, we'll be right back here live next Thursday night. Hope to see everybody back here.